Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I feel as though I did everybody else's workout routine for the past month. I feel like I should finally show you guys what I do for my own personal workout routine. A little disclaimer before we get into my routine: all these moves that I do I have found work for my body. I do recommend speaking to a professional to figure out what will be best for you and your body. Also, obviously I am not a fitness trainer or a coach or anything like that. All these moves that I'm doing I just found online and kind of put together for myself. If you do want to give them a try though, I recommend finding someone else to maybe show you how to do them exactly or give you little tips and tricks on how to do them, because I know my form is not the best. That's something that I'm always working on with all my moves. But for now, let's get into what I do for day one. I like to start my week off with back and biceps because for me, it's a routine that I know the best, I'm the most comfortable with, so it makes it a lot easier to get up on Monday morning at 5 a.m. and do a routine that you know really well. I think what also makes this one of my favorite days is that when I first ever did the lat pull down, I could not tell where I was supposed to be feeling it. I couldn't feel the muscle, but now it's such a different experience because I can feel exactly where I'm supposed to be feeling it. I can feel my muscle engaging. So I think that is what makes this one of my favorite things, is that I can feel actual progress in this day compared to some of the other days. I could also definitely be feeling my lats more because I do so many different variations of them, but from what I've read online, all those variations are supposed to benefit different parts of your lat muscle, so it's not like I'm doing them for no reason. I personally like to do core second because it's a nice in-between where I'm not using too much arms, I'm not using too much leg, so my arms can rest before having to do another arm day, and my legs can rest before they have to do the official leg day. Now, in this routine, you may notice that I don't sit down at all, and you may be like, well, typically you get on the floor to do core moves, and that's very traditional of how you do them. But if you watch my Real Housewives video, I mentioned that I had fallen on my tailbone, so it makes it really hard to get on the floor and do those type of moves. So when I created this core routine, I knew I had to make something that I could do entirely standing up. And let me say, even though I'm not doing them the traditional way of getting on the floor, I'm gonna rhyme here, my core is still so sore. One thing I really like about my core routine is if I'm going in the gym that week and maybe it's my period or the week before and I'm just I don't know if I could do weights or anything like that, you can do this whole routine pretty much without weights, which is really nice. And the other benefit is then if you're feeling stronger that day, you can add weights or up the weights that you already are doing typically. So for cardio, I typically do 2 miles every day, Monday through Friday. I like to have weekends as a full rest day, no weights, no cardio at all. The only day that I don't do 2 miles is on Wednesday. I usually will go for 3 to 4 miles. That will be my day that I just dedicate strictly to cardio. I say typically because for right now, I'm actually training for my first ever 5K race. So my training is a little bit different in cardio. For right now, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays are the days that I am doing my 5K training plan. I'm currently using the Couch to 5K plan. I know there's a lot of different Couch to 5K plans from when I was doing my research. I'll leave a link down below to the exact one that I'm using. But once I'm done training for the 5K, I'm gonna go back to doing 2 miles every day, and then one day doing 3 to 4 miles. For my fourth day, I kind of flip-flop between wanting to do legs or wanting to do shoulders, chest, and triceps. For this week, my body was saying your arms are ready to go, let's do them today, and we'll do legs on Friday. Now, on the cable machine, a lot of my tricep workouts are very similar or working the same part of the muscle, and in my warped mind, my brain goes, okay, well, if your brain tells your muscle today that this tricep pull down with the rope is not gonna work and make the muscle sore, then we got this backup of doing the bar, which I know is probably not true, but that's how my mind thinks, so I just go along with it. And also, in my mind, my tricep still needs so much work, so I think it's no harm, no foul if I retarget the same exact part of the muscle by doing a similar move. For leg day, it's kind of similar to core. I can also do this all with either weights or just with body weight. Now, core, I do typically try to always do it with weights, but for legs, it is kind of depending on how my body feels that day. If I go to the gym that day and my knees are feeling sore, then I will typically say, okay, let's do body weights, or maybe it's that time of the month. I'll be like, okay, we can do body weights. I also have days like today when I happen to be filming. I started off with squatting with some weights, and then by the third set, I was like, my knees feel like if I keep going with the weights, something bad could happen, but I could probably do them with just my body weight. And that's what I did. That's how I finished off my set. Sometimes I'll start with weights, but I won't finish with them. Sometimes I will start with no weights and then I'll give a set to see, can I do it with the weights? For me, leg day is kind of playing it by ear on how much weight I'm going to use, if any at all. So that is my current workout routine. I don't have any plans to make any changes to it. The only changes that I do occasionally make to it is like the order that I do it in, because I kind of just try to base it off of how my body feels. Usually I can go in the order that I showed in this video, but sometimes I have to move it around. And the only other possible big change is the fact that in a few months I won't be training for a 5K anymore, so I can go back to my normal routine. But other than that, I don't really see any changes coming up unless I feel like I have advanced and I can try some new moves or something. But make sure you subscribe so you can follow along and see if I do make any of those changes. That is all for this week's video. I will see you guys next week. Until then, roll the outro.